Are you ready? I'm ready. So this all started about a little less than a year ago when my wife wanted one of these devices. It's an Apple time capsule. Very nice device. You plug it in. It's both an airport access point and backup storage, and automatically, as soon as you plug in your or touch your Mac, it will automatically back up everything on your computer, and it's wonderful and all silent in the background and so on. This was very interesting, an interesting experience for me. I have not really played around much with Mac or Apple security before, so when she wants to buy this, I say fine. I don't own a fancy Mac yet, at least, and this is hers. I actually had to borrow it in order to do my presentation, and also this was what happened when she got this one. So this is a store exemplar. It's a showcase exemplar. It was supposed or sold as only opened, taken out of the box for showcasing, and never used. So, much to my surprise, when I plug it in, it of course is not really just, it has not only just been opened, but turns out that it's also, well, so I didn't know what to expect actually. I plugged it in and looked at the internet, and it said it will list as something something, and show up as an access point. And of course you cannot see my screen at the moment, but you will, if you did, you would see that this will pop up not as time capsule something something, but actually as Apple Shop. And yeah, you can see it already. So you have here Airport Time Capsule Shop, which is not what it was supposed to be, and turns out it's password protected. And of course, this makes me curious. I'm a curious guy, I can't help myself. So I start looking at, okay, so we need to reset it. Okay, so I find one of the Apple pages. It says in order to restore or reboot, press the reboot button for 1 second. In order to disable access control, hold for 5 seconds, and to factory reset it, hold for 10 seconds. It's like, what? 5 seconds? What? Disable access control? No, you did what? What does that mean actually? After 5 seconds, it takes a little bit of time to reboot, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm perfectly fine with this. Please let me edit. So, okay, so we can at least set a new password, and this was when I got really curious and said, there's actually some characters there already and hidden in the password field, right? So, what are those? I mean, could that actually be the real password? And what happens if I click the remember in my keychain? Oh crap. Turns out I already forgot it. Oh. I forgot to delete all of them. Alright, no, actually they just restored. So anyway, remember this password in my keychain, and immediately it pops up. Which is fancy. I mean, I haven't even updated it, and it already knows it by heart. So let's see. This is nice because in the keychain we can actually choose to show the passwords that we own, and then we get to see the password of the device without having ever, So this is the clear text password of that device, and this was also kind of interesting. Apple SIS-07. So I started Googling for it a little bit, and it turns out there's pretty much one result on the internet, and this is a tweet from a guy who says that the password for the Apple shop in this and this shopping mall is Apple SIS-07. Okay, so this is actually one of Apple's default passwords, apparently, for their devices when they showcase them. So that's fine. Okay, so it's a showcase exemplar. I should expect that, I guess. Let's see. So, funny thing is now that this thingy, it pops up as a disk as well, a network attached disk. So we can actually mount that. Take some time to read, but what we actually get is the contents of the hard drive. And since we now know the password, we get to see that there's actually a backup on there. And the funny thing is that these backups, you can mount them in Mac, so you can easily access what's on there, and you can see all the files. So all of a sudden, I find that okay. So somebody not only connected this, they then attached their computer to the network. It started backing up, and it backed up the entire computer of this poor guy. It seems to be taking a little longer than ordinary, but anyway, it's all there. So being curious, I look around a little bit. There are some images, there are some stuff. Nothing. No, hey, come on, nothing like that. You guys. Anyway, so but what's also on there is the keychains, and the keychains are the holy grail of Mac security, where you store all your stored passwords. Yeah, you already saw the example here. All of my passwords are stored in my keychain. So how could I'm curious. I want to see what's in those keychains, and started reading up a little bit on how that works. How does keychains work? What is the password, because they are password protected? Okay, so the password for the login keychain, which is the one we're looking at now, that's the user's login password. So, but we don't really know what login password is, right? But going through a lot of stuff, it turns out that if you have enabled auto login, the password is actually stored in a file on the hard drive, encrypted. That is XORed with a static key. Yeah, and
that's unbreakable.
It's never heard of that. But anyway, so of course this poor guy, and I know he's a guy. It turns out he had auto login enabled, which made it possible for me to copy. Sorry, I can't see this. The etc kc password file. That's the very secret file. And in turn, so then of course there are people around who have already checked this, but there's some decrypt, so you can easily decrypt, and it's the tool is not really correct because it's not Apple 0. It's well, you might be able to guess it. What is the password? 7. Yes, exactly. Apple 07. Creative minds think alike, I guess. So we now have the password, and the thing is, and this is the whole problem, I guess, with this, that these files, both the KC password file and the login keychain, they are supposed to be protected by root. They're supposed to be read-only by root. But access control does not exist in a backup file. That's there is no such thing. So we can just read it and decrypt. We get the entire login keychain. There's also a system keychain that stores Wi-Fi passwords and all other kinds of saved passwords. Exactly the same there. There's a file called system key that, of course, unlocks the system keychain, and these files are protected by root, which does not exist. So we can essentially extract everything from the backup and then decrypt and read all the passwords in clear text, and that's how I got Netflix. And no, I didn't. So this is sort of what I did, and I presented this at AppSec EU this spring in May, and there I met my old friend Jon Wilander, who's working at security at Apple, and I talked to him a little bit about this, and he said that
yeah, it's time to change the password.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking too loud about that, because there's always this huge fuss when something Apple is broken. But I can help you report this, and might be something in there for you. Sure. So we reported, and for the entire summer, I hear absolutely nothing. I sort of forget about the whole thing, and then some weeks ago, not too long before, some week before El Capitan was released, the new Mac OS X, then I get an email saying that, how would you like to be credited for your finding? Ah, yeah, sure. Hi, me, I'm Jonas, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, I've been assigned a CVE, so I'm the father now of my first CVE. And now with the newest version of El Capitan, it's fixed. Exactly what is fixed, I don't know, because they haven't actually told me that. And the interesting thing here is that they have fixed time machine, not time capsule. So the first part of the talk, I don't know if that's still secret or not. And what they actually did, if they fixed time machine, was it that they don't back up root protected stuff, or they don't allow you to read root protected stuff, or I don't know. But so that it's fixed. You don't need to worry about it. Don't look at it. It's fixed. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Thank you.
Okay, and for being such good sports, we're now offering up some beers. But be fast, because on stage next is Mika.